Hello. Today let's see about the instance types available in AWS. So these are on-demand instances, um, reserved instances, spot instances, scheduled reserved instances, shared instances, dedicated instances, and dedicated host. So the on-demand instances are usually uh, taken by as per the demand from the user. So it is a pay per hour, or usually it is pay per hour. It does not require a long-term commitment with AWS because you are using it for on demand for a particular amount of time only. So you're not going to make any contract, or you're not going to reserve it for a minimum time period. If you're going to use it for just a short term, and you know you're going to end your project or the usage within a particular time, then you can just use it like for say 1 or 2 months, and then uh, you can actually terminate the instance. So if this is used only for a short term instance, because if we have to pay for long term, this will be very costly because it is calculated pay per hour basis. This instance can be terminated after use, and hence you will not be charged after you have terminated the instance anytime. Even if you have taken up that instance and you have terminated, like say after 3 days, you will not be charged after that because you have terminated it. So it is like on demand. You're paying only for hourly basis, and you're going to terminate it after that. It is only for as per your usage. It is mostly used when the instances required for say there is an increasing load, and they want to use it for particular amount of time, or maybe for developers for testing the applications as such. And you can also scale the capacity up and down because you are going to use it only for a very short amount of time. So you can also increase then decrease the capacity as per your workload. The next is the reserved instances. These reserved instances are the long-term instances. So the on-demand instances are only for short-term. The reserved instances are for long-term, and since they are used for a long-term, they're usually fixed for a minimum amount of time period, say 1 or either 3 years. So it should be either 1 year or a 3 year. In case if you want to increase or decrease the capacity of the instances, it is based upon the availability that is given by the AWS. It's um, like a prepaid plan. If you have to, you can choose according to your usage. If you want to increase the capacity at any time, then you can choose as per that plan. Or if you're going to use a fixed capacity, then you can choose that plan. But only it is for a long term. Minimum it is 1 year. And since there is a lock-in period, in case if you have finished your work or your project before that time period, you cannot terminate it. Even if you are going to terminate it, you will still be charged for the rest of the time period because you're going to make the payment before itself when you're creating that instance. And the reserved instances are of two types. One will be the standard, and the second will be convertible. Standard instance means the instance type that you have created cannot be changed, but the convertible, it allows us to make the changes to the instance type and other attributes. So that's what I said, like depending upon the need, you can change the plans, and you can choose the reserved instance as a standard reserved instance or convertible reserved instance. The next one is the spot instance. This is widely used by people only who are going to use it for cache purpose, like testing, or only for a limited time period where they are going to they know they are predicting a increase of load on the server. So this spot instances are can be availed only when they are available. So in case AWS announces that they are going to give certain instances for a discounted price because they have so much of unused instances free, so that time these instances will come for sale for a particular amount of time. So these spot instances may be interrupted at any time by the AWS, and hence the spot instances cannot be used for production environments, or the mainstream websites where you want to launch your websites or something like that. So since this is a spot instance, this is like a sale. So it is going to be available only for a particular amount of time, and it will be interrupted at any time. So you'll just get a intimation, say 2 minutes before the instance is going to shut down by the AWS. So obviously this is going to be used only when it is used for a temporary purpose, like testing environments, when you're going to test a huge load, and you don't want to spend so much on on demand instance per hour testing and all. You can use the spot instance if at all it is available. The next is the scheduled reserved instance. So this kind of reserved instance is used only for a particular time, say business hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you will be charged only for the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So in reserved instance, we saw that we are going to pay for the whole plan, like say for a fixed period of 1 year. But this scheduled reserved instance is going to be like you'll be paying for the reserved instance, but only for the time period between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., not for the 24 hours. So, since you are going to be charged only for the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a particular amount of period, say 1 year or so, comparatively the payment is less. This is useful only when you know a particular project is going to work, or is going to require the instance only between that time, and beyond that it is not going to work beyond that. Then you can obviously opt for this kind of instances. The next one is the shared instance. So these shared instance meaning the instances that we create and the instances that is created by other users, they'll all be stored in a common storage. So in case there are some 10 users that are creating an instance, you will have a common storage. It is not that your data is shared, but then your instances are stored in a common storage device. The next one is the dedicated instance. This instance will be allocated dedicated storage on a server where other user instances will not be allotted. So which means this kind is going to be like a rental storage kind of. So you're going to say that I want a dedicated instance, and I need a specified storage for me, but the storage will be on the same server, but it will have a separate storage, different storages. That is the dedicated instance. The next one is the dedicated host. So in this case, the particular whole infrastructure will be owned by the user. Say an organization has some data privacy issues. We can say healthcare or insurance or medical, in any medical related, or we can say bank details. So they all have data privacy. So those people do not want to mix up their instance in our storage. So because they are obviously prone to data theft by any hacking or something, so though they don't want to take the risk, in that cases they will go for a dedicated host where they are going to own a particular setup by themselves for a particular, let's say for a particular payment, they'll own that particular infrastructure from the AWS. That's all for the types of instances. Thank you.